Welcome to the Buy List. This is episode 54.
This is not financial advice. This is whiteboarded cardboard. Hiya! New camera. We back. What's happening?
Yeah, what's going on, Nate? It's how's your week in Fab?
Dude, it was great. I talked a bunch of shit about Riptide and then proceeded to lose to it at my armory, which was well deserved.
Yeah.
So I was playing Azalea, and I of course ran into my buddy who was on Riptide. And that matchup is not good. Every time I shot an arrow, I was like, please don't have Buzzsaw Trap, please don't have Buzzsaw Trap, please don't have Buzzsaw Trap, please don't have Buzzsaw Trap. And then he ended up killing me with a Pitfall Trap
Oh,
that I could.
that is a bummer.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaks to the meta, man. We kind of got, or well, we did get the first week of ProQuest results, and ooh boy, that is a thick list, huh? There's a lot of heroes over 5 wins, a lot,
Yep.
including your boy Teklo. I know every podcast we're coming out on Saturday, so every podcast this week has already talked about that. So we're gonna just leave it at that, and
Yep.
I think I'll just say that it's been amazing to see. And I think, the first topic I think it's worth chatting a little bit about, because, we like to look at the market a little bit, obviously, around here. And I think a big thing this ProQuest season is the LL changes. And this is kind of our first real run at it. I know RTN season obviously, was under these rules as well. But, Dromai LL'd, first week, checks Monday, illegal on Friday. Then we went, right, the second week. So yeah, it's 100% the right choice. This feels so much different than the Lexi lame duck meta.
Yes, it feels so much better to actually have a reason to keep playing games. I mean Dromai was unplayable regardless, so it didn't really affect the meta that much, but it is really cool to have a new kind of little space to innovate and try to change some things up. And I mean both you and I have kind of seen it on the back end of random cards selling,
Yeah.
Teklo cards all of a sudden starting to pop off.
Yeah.
The amount of just random cards that I am shipping that I'm like, I didn't know these went in decks, but someone thinks they do, because right now everyone thinks they can play the game, until we figure it out.
Literally every hero.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
yeah. You could not.
Yeah.
If you rocked up to a Proquest right now with any hero under the sun, I don't think there's a real reason to be like, sure about that, bud.
Yeah, I would agree. I would say everyone's got a little bit of play right now. Obviously, some more than others, but and that, like you said, that's good for kind of to build off of our the end of our episode last week where we ranted for 20 minutes. But a thriving market is good for the game. Thriving meta, they all kind of, it's like a big circle, right? They all kind of feed each other.
Yeah.
And it's been good, and I'm excited to see how this ProQuest season shapes out.
Yeah, it's really cool. I'm actually sad that I can only go to one event.
Yeah, same here. One event for me too.
I
ProQuest seemed very light. Makes sense because we're in the US, right? And I think they probably shifted a number. There's only so many invites that they can give out, right? So they probably shifted a number of events to Europe. I mean, that just makes sense. I don't know if that's true, but it makes sense to me.
in Michigan,
Because Michigan's real light.
we have 5 technically
Real
in
light.
Michigan.
I
think, or maybe 6. They just all pick piss poor times. Sorry, stores in Michigan, but y'all suck.
Yeah.
All right, there's 4 weekends for ProQuest, and all of the ProQuest are within 2 weekends.
Yeah, so some of there's a couple stores that always get a ProQuest that are like 40 minutes from me, but no stores in the Detroit metro area got any ProQuest, which is kind of weird. So I think they in the stores that did get ProQuest were like other than the ones I just mentioned. There's a number of those 4 or 5 that we have, Nate, that are like brand new. So I think they're like doing the throw a bone um, event. And I know the Runaways said that their area out east, New Jersey area, it was also reduced in quantity. So that's kind of like I said. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I feel like it makes sense to push them to Europe since it is in Amsterdam.
Yeah. It's interesting. I know there's like a lot of people from the US like who just probably aren't going, so it does make sense to push them that way. But
Yeah.
um I know that stores like have other events and stuff, but like maybe like coordinate just a little bit. Because like that
Nope, never, dude.
no.
LGSs will never do it, and it is the story as old as time, dude.
Also start your events early, but not 10 a.m. early. 11,
Dude,
perfect
what are
starting
you
time.
talking about? You are needy,
I
dude.
am. All right.
You're like
Listen,
start it early, but not too early.
listen.
It needs to be the perfect time for Mr. Nate.
Yes. Like some of them don't start till 1 o'clock. Way too late. Unacceptable.
Yeah, 1 o'clock is like, come on, dog.
10, little too early. 10:30. You know what? 10 is fine. You know what? I scratch it. 10's fine. Just a little early, but
Yeah.
we'll live.
So, Nate, we did get some. Again, I think we got some expansion slot spoilers. I think they're pretty worth talking about.
Did we?
Yeah, we did. So the first one is long drawn half glove. Oh wait, no, I said that wrong. Rip. Note
That's
to self:
basically
edit that
that's
out.
the concept art. It's long drawn half glove.
It's long draw half glove.
Long dong
And it
half glove. Got it.
long dong. This is a Ranger equipment arms,
Yep.
and it says instant destroy this. Put 2 cards from your hand and or arsenal on the bottom of your deck. Then your next arrow attack this turn gets +4. It is battle worn 1, Nate.
Ooh, you know what we should do for all the expansion slot cards? We should put them in two categories: either card sucks or cards bucks.
Well,
And
yeah,
this,
best card ever, worst card
yeah, it's
ever.
either bucks because it's gonna be big money or sucks.
Yeah.
And guess what? This card sucks.
We should probably do this like formatting discussions before we're recording.
Nah.
Do it live. Screw it. Do it
Yep.
live.
Ship it, baby.
Um, my thoughts on this card, and I think we're aligned on this, Nate, is I don't you're turning 6 value into 4 value. I guess Ranger people tell me that sometimes you get flooded with arrows and that like you can just this feels okay
Deck build
to
better.
like do this. But
Yeah.
uh I think it's an interesting card, right? Like
It's
if there's some crazy arrow like in the future that just like you want it to be a 9 attack for some reason, like this card's kind of interesting. I'm a little confused, Nate, about the 2 cards.
turning into 4 damage.
Generally, cards are worth 3, and you're turning 6 value into 4 value with this card. I mean, surface value, it's like anti brick tech, right?
Sure, but you should just deck build better then. Like, don't at me. Like,
Whoa,
build a deck better,
dude!
and
Did
then
you
you won't
just
need
channel
me.
Brian
Yeah,
Gottlieb?
yeah. But
Sure,
listen,
but just get good.
Gottlieb ain't wrong. Like, people complain about
I,
draft need to get good. All right,
I miss that guy telling everyone to get good.
dude. I miss Brian Gottlieb. Can we get him back on Twitter? Free Brian.
Dude, it always kind of warmed my heart when he just went in on
Dude,
somebody.
just went straight for the chin music.
Oh, dude, he went hard.
Oh yeah,
So yeah, I mean, it's fine. I don't. It'll look cool in cold foil.
it'll look sweet in cold foil. It's a Riptide card at best. Like Azalea's never playing this
Yeah,
card. Um,
yeah,
the fact that it's like block 1 battle worn, like, Riptide players are gonna be like, "Ooh, this is playable," and then they're gonna play with it, like, 5 games and be like, "This is unplayable." So card sucks. Um,
Dude, you could actually probably play the UPF arms that say block two if opponent's more health than you, right? If you're going for like block out Riptide or something over these, because yeah, the just turning six value into or four value is doesn't seem great on the surface.
no, not great at all.
Or actually, not even on the surface. I think it's just bad math.
Yeah,
So, so we got that one, and then the next one we got is another Ranger card. It's called Murky Water. It costs two. It's a Riptide spec. It says if this has an aim counter on it, it gets +1 and dominate.
yeah,
Uh, when this hits, you may banish face down 3 traps from your graveyard. If you do, choose one at random and put it into your arsenal. It is a 6 power arrow, and it blocks for 3. It is red pitch.
yes. That card is
Seems good.
nuts.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Getting the card in arsenal is like pretty good, man. Like,
Riptide needs a like, a Ranger in general needs a better way to add aim counters. Um,
yeah, I was gonna say that's kind of the kicker.
but good lord, am I scared if they ever do get a good way to add aim counters, because a lot of stuff gets real scurry. Um, and like it,
I mean, Riptide's looking at what? Great Sandscour and his normal bow,
Barb
right?
Castaway, baby. I got it. 1 second. I was just playing with
Barbed.
that card over here.
I cannot remember what that does, but I know it's mid as hell.
Hold, please. Hey, now be nice.
It's not, dude. Come on,
All right.
like,
So I did theory craft a Riptide deck that was like really trying to abuse aim counters, and I was like, Michael, play me. I think I figured it out. I cracked Riptide. I got fatigued, and he was at 33 life total points. He was playing. I think he was playing Oldhim. I was like, okay, maybe this isn't it.
back to the drawing
Back
board.
to the
Yeah,
drawing
there it
board.
is.
Barb Castaway, baby. Says
Yeah.
it's you have to pay $1 to flip an arrow in your arsenal face up to give it an aim counter, but I think a lot of the cards that get aim counters, that's worth $1.
Yeah, this one is
That one,
I think this is interesting because it kind of gives him end game, right? With the dominate. That's very useful if you're doing this like trap block out, kind of like slow your opponent down,
yeah,
right? This is a closer, a 7, right? If it has the aim counter on it, it is coming in for 7 dominate, which is those break points, which is
yeah,
nice. And then getting a trap back in your arsenal is also kind of an interesting mechanic because we know with Riptide, right? He runs trench. So then, like, even if you don't want the trap or the trap doesn't really act, the trap's not activated, you can trench it away
yeah.
and do all kinds of stuff. So, very cool arrow, I think.
It's
And
super cool.
they just keep sprinkling little bits of sugar on top of Riptide and be like, I think they might be scared of Riptide. I think.
I honestly, I think like people are complaining about Prism right now, which I'll rant about later. Uh, but I think honestly, one of the most probably toxic play experiences would probably be like Riptide if Riptide was best deck. Like
Yeah,
you just like
just like
doing anything and you're just like, oh, oh, nope, can't do that. Oh, and I took 3 damage. Oh,
yeah.
cool. There goes my hand. Oh, that thing that I just buffed to 1,000,000. Yep, that's now 2. Um,
And you do it. Yeah,
and I
it's
took
like the double
damage.
whammy,
Yeah.
right? It's just like, oh, this has go again. No, it doesn't, and you take a damage. You're like, God dang. I was. It's a funny play experience. Yeah, not to compare this to CC at all, but it was. I've seen it happen in UPF where like a Riptide was in the pod and he just was like, they're like, we're gonna kill you, Riptide, and like everyone attacks them and they're like, wait, I attacked you for like 10 and I only took a damage. Like, this isn't fair.
Yep.
Why am I the only one in this exchange taking damage?
Yep.
And he's like, I don't know, Riptide.
I do Riptide things.
Yeah,
Um,
so I don't know. I think we've got 4 expansion slot cards now. We reviewed the other 2 last week, Nate, and yeah, you know, I think they've hitting their stride with expansion slot cards.
Yeah, they
These 4 look pretty good. Like, yeah, we kind of said long draw was mid, and it is, but like it's interesting at least, right? It's just not, you know,
yes.
we're seeing interesting cards, which I'm excited for. So
Yes. I think Long Drawn goes in like the our classic tier list of like adorable category. Um
yeah,
and I think like Murky Waters is like a that card slaps. Um,
very good.
so I'm excited to see the rest of the expansion slot.
Same. I need to see some Room Blade cards, please.
Yes. Yes.
The rest of the expansion slots should just be Room Blade cards.
Ain't gonna happen, buddy.
A man can dream.
Yes, you can dream. You will dream wrong, but you can.
James White said that Room Blades, he cheeky X response that Room Blades might be coming back. That makes me happy.
I mean, you think about like
It's been a minute since they've dropped a Room Blade, right?
LSS kind of like rotates, like soft rotates classes too. Like we've seen this,
Yeah.
like Rune Blades have definitely like not gotten anything cool. Guardians have not really gotten anything cool to play with. Um,
Guardians were on a heater
oh,
though.
they were on a heater for sure.
Yeah.
And then basically, like after Oldhim LL, they're like, let's
Enough.
let's chill on that for a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, and then Illusionist was not on a heater, and then they're like, Tome of Imperial Flame. Um,
Yeah, let's go.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they definitely like to like kind of like soft rotate like problem classes. Not
Yeah.
problem classes, but like classes that have really been like dominating the conversation and metagame. They just kind of like to
Mhm.
give them like very mid support. And I think this
Yeah.
the arms for Ranger is kind of the we want to help Riptide. Not really Azalea, because people are already kind of starting to
Yeah.
fuss, and Lexi was an issue. So like, let's tone it back a little bit here.
Yeah. They even kind of hinted at it in the dev talk this week. They dropped that video,
Oh, I haven't listened yet.
and there was a couple comments about like Azalea is pretty strong. And what she is.
Yeah.
She is a very strong deck.
Yep.
Um, she just needed some things to move out of the way,
Yes.
mainly Dromai.
Yeah. She was good before
Yeah.
Dromai left. Like,
Yes.
yeah.
Yep.
Um,
So, Nate, the where to so we want to go to what you kind of hinted at it previously. Um, we can get into the rant section of the episode.
oh, we ranting already? We doing a shorty
Yeah,
today?
we ranting.
Okay. I got a couple of rants. First rant.
Let's see. That's why I had to. That's why we're going short.
Okay, that's fair. All right, first rant. Rant number one. We got two rants on the docket today. One, why you hate money? Why do you hate money? All I see all the time on TCG Player is people undercutting TCG Player by like $5 on like legendaries and things like that. It's like if you took the time to purchase Flesh and Blood cards from either a collection or opening a pack or what have you, just list a TCG Player low. List a penny under.
Well,
Like
yeah, I was
why
gonna
you
say
listed
like,
$5 under? Why you hate money?
yeah,
Like
yeah. The egregious thing is like, I don't even mind if it's like $1, right? You're just like, I want to move
yeah,
this. I just pulled it, right? Or you're a burgeoning TCG player account, right? And I guess maybe not everyone knows this, but when you sign up for TCG Player as a seller, you have to sell. Is it 500? You have to make 500 transactions before you unlock their pricing tab, which is like really they make you load your inventory. It's like torture
it is.
until you hit that like
Yes.
level 4 tier 4 seller account. It is like torturous to upload cards.
Yes.
So admittedly, like I'll raise my hand. When I started, I was like, "We're going low, baby. We're going low and just under." Like, because I wanted to get a bunch of sales under my belt
Yeah.
to get to that tier 4, which is like perfectly fine. But like when you come in and it's like last sold is $10 and you're like $6, it's like, come on, bro.
Yeah. You're
It's
literally like just
like,
like
like
chopping
you're
it by like
killing me.
yeah. And then so and like how the for those who don't sell on TCG Player, the way it works is like as soon as something's listed, like like either stores will like automatically have their inventory update every couple of days
Yeah.
to match TCG Player low. So then if you come in and just chop the knees off of a product, a bunch of
Hmm.
stores are going to come down and match you because they just see TCG Player low, card is sitting here, match. Um,
Yeah.
or like you're
Like
going to list.
flashback to a year ago, right?
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
flashback to a year ago, there was an actual bug
Yeah.
in the system that was stores were like, or no, it's not stores fault, it was TCG players bug in their system was like posting cards super low, like the damage, it was like it was some other condition from a website, right? Because it all imports
Yeah.
through like big store, large like hobby stores. And we actually partitioned, or Nate, I would say, not myself, but we talked about it on this episode. And then Nate, you worked with TCG player
Yeah.
support to get that bug fixed to stop this, because that was more egregious because you couldn't buy the card that was like
Yes.
$5 lower than the low, which was like really egregious.
Yes.
Um, but yeah, like that's the thing, is like you were saying, now if a actual card is listed $5 lower, these automated systems come in and they're like, oh, that's what the new value is. Get close, get close. It's always trying to get close. So it kind of starts an artificial run to the, not to the bottom, because nothing really goes to the floor
Yeah.
because it gets bought up or whatnot. But
Yeah. If it goes too low. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, like, listen, free markets, capitalism, yada 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 yada. All I'm saying
yeah,
is why
Nate.
you hate money. Like,
Yeah.
if you've taken the
You can post whatever you want, but like, why you hate money, bro?
you've taken the time to purchase a collection, open this card, pay money to open this card, buy this card from someone and play with it and be like, I don't love this anymore. I'm gonna sell it on TCG Player. Why are you shortchanging yourself? You are worth more than that.
Hmm.
Love
Yeah, your
yourself.
time's worth more than that.
Like shit, like you ain't getting that payment for 10 days
Yeah.
anyways. So like it
Okay.
it ain't no you ain't running the TCG player with your hands out be like, I sold it, give me my money. Like, listen, it's gonna come.
Yeah.
If it's that urgent, go on Facebook, go on Discord, and then just yeet it at super cheap because people will scoop it.
Yeah.
If you want something 60% TCG player, hit up me or Ted. We'll buy it. Like we will buy
Yeah.
it from you.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I
You
will. I
and
will
then you
buy
don't have to
from
pay any TCG player fees. We will just buy it from
you.
you straight up at 60% market
Yeah.
value because that's what some people like. People are taking $10 off a $20 card and like, "Meh, gone. I want it out of here. I
Yeah.
just won't
Like,
sell it.
oh.
Great. I'll take it.
But if no one's paying attention, it just sits there, and then like four other stores catch up to
Yeah.
it, and it was like, oh, come on, man.
Yeah. And then like
It's like,
something
yeah.
that would like maybe potentially like in a day just like get bought out and then go back to its normal price. Then you have a cascade of stores come in, and now you've got 10 like let's say like 10 to 20 copies of the card sitting at $10 instead of 20. And then
Hmm.
that's a much tougher hill to climb for the card. But regardless, why you hate money?
Yeah. Why you hate money?
Res-
Stop hating so much money.
yes,
Also,
respect
yeah,
yourself.
you know, yeah, actually do the opposite. I tend to like list a lot of cards like above low,
Mhm.
especially if a little free tidbit, especially if I have like a playset,
Yes, place
because
that
a lot
premium,
of the
baby.
times it's easier for a player just to buy a playset from me, and they're like $1 more than low,
Mhm.
but I have the first playset. So just little tips, take a look at, I would say if you're looking to sell, look at those last sold,
Yeah.
right? Kind of price yourself, uh, price yourself into a good spot. And then also fab moves on TCG player.
Yes.
It really does. So you don't have to undercut people by $5. You can literally go like 3 cents under, and you will, if it's a popular card, it will get eaten up, chewed up. You'll be shipping it out in no time. So
For sure. Second rant. Didn't clear this one with Ted first. We're going in hot. Ted has no idea what's
oh
happening.
my god.
All right. So I got off Twitter. Twitter's a toxic place. I left that shit behind.
Oh, you pulled a Brian Gottlieb,
I did.
huh?
I Gottliebed it. But we need Gottlieb back because like for the culture. I miss you, Brian Gottlieb. I'll rejoin Twitter if
You were the manager of the buy list account, and then you just left and never told me, bro.
I did. I literally just straight up deleted the app. I'm
You're
like,
like, I'm gone. I'm like, bro, it's been like 2 weeks. You're supposed to be putting out
yeah.
tweets.
I was
Like,
like, my mental
god
health,
damn.
dude.
All
I,
right.
I can't be up here anymore. Might be everybody. Maybe I'll be back someday. I was spending too much time on Twitter and it was not great for my mental health or sanity. So I said peace. Um, but I did see, I don't even remember where I saw it. I saw someone post about it in like Discord or maybe the chat, but like um I don't recall where I saw it, but someone basically posted like they felt like uncomfortable because their opponents were like they were playing Prism and people were just like, "Oh, illusionist players," and like,
There's been a little bit of that Discord, right?
yeah,
Tyler or Righteous Gaming, Tyler Broughton had brought it up too,
was it
like
Tyler
a
who brought
week
it
and a
up?
half ago. Yeah, Tyler was basically talking about like, and it kind of came up off of the Dromai LLing, right?
Yeah,
And we're just like, maybe don't like, maybe don't be so salty when you sit down against a illusionist,
don't be
because like,
be salty in general. Just be kind. Um, like as much as I dog on Dromai on here, she is actually unplayable now. But like if I ever sit down across from a Dromai, I was never mean to them. I mostly
yeah,
just talk shit behind their back. I'm just kidding. But um
there was
like
there was some discourse too, Nate. Sorry to cut you off, but there was some discourse about how that sentiment is not real. As an X chain player, 100% real. Definitely has happened to me multiple times
yeah.
where I sit down, review my hero, and people are salty little bitches about it.
Yeah, they are.
And it's like, it's a feels bad, man. I'm like, dude, come on. Like,
Yes. And I've apologized to Ted before because I got rather salty during one of our draft games and threw an overload
well,
script
I
about
cooked you.
8 feet into the air because I was a little salty. I've apologized to my teammates before in testing for being salty and um, but like take a step back, try like if you are salty, just try to like not show it as much and don't make that person feel uncomfortable. And if you like are outwardly showing it, just apologize. Be like, listen, I'm sorry, I'm salty. Like it's just been a rough day. And then just like good luck, move on to the next
Yeah.
round. But like I've even felt this like a little bit like playing like locally where it's like I I feel like I'm a detriment to the community by showing up at an armory sometimes, or like a pro quest where it's like, you already have your invite. What are you doing here? It's like, I like to play flesh and blood. I like to shuffle cardboard and I like to stomp people. And the stomping people is like not like it's like indiscriminate
Yeah.
stomping. It's not like I can't come here just to like end someone's entire career. I come there to end everyone's entire career. Um, I want
Yeah. I mean, Flesh and Blood is very competitive, right? It's
I
just,
want these.
this is the game.
I want the gold
Yeah.
foils, okay? Like I don't take time away from my family um to like just like show up, make top 8 and drop. I take time away from my family to compete because I like to compete. I'm a very competitive person. I try to also be like very um kind while I'm playing with other players. But I am very competitive and that's why like I don't go there to like scoop games to people.
Yeah.
Um so like if it's the difference between like one of my best friends like making like nationals or something, I will scoop sometimes. Um, but like I'm not gonna like
Yeah.
take 8 hours out of my day to show up to a tournament and then be like, oh, you need to get qualified for nationals. I'll just scoop in top 8 and not win a gold foil. Um,
Yeah.
I'm gonna play for my shot, and I'm gonna play for my chance to win, and I think that we as a community need to, like, not think that, like, we are all here to have fun and have a good time. We shouldn't be mean to people because they want to play Flesh and Blood and they wanna do it in the way that they wanna do it.
Or a certain deck, yeah.
Yeah, like, especially, like, a certain deck, like, you're like, "Oh,
That's
Teklo-Boston,
like the
I
worst.
hate Teklo-Boston, it's such a dumb deck. All you're gonna do is block, 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 become a massive robot, and then kill me with your big robo-ness." It's like, whatever. That's how they like, that's their
Yeah.
love. Don't tell them how to love. Let them love how they wanna
Yeah.
love.
Um, yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm with you, Nate. When I was more competitive in the game, I would find myself getting salty, and I would say that the best thing for myself, at least, and maybe this is good advice for others
Mhm.
as well, is that I needed to like look inward more and not outward because it's like it's not my opponent high like my opponent can high roll me
Mhm.
and that happens but it's like that's fine. It's like you shouldn't be getting I realized I shouldn't have been getting mad about that, right? And then being kind of like cold or like short with my opponent because they just smoked me.
Mhm.
So I try to tamper down those feelings, especially when I'm in a competitive setting by being like, all right, what did I draw? Where could I like? Should I have blocked with armor here? Or like, I try to like look a little bit inward and be like, oh, I definitely probably missed that block,
Yeah.
or yeah, I did something. You can always find something in a game like Flesh and Blood. You can probably always find something that where you maybe did a little bit wrong. Like it's very hard to play a perfect game of CC.
Yeah.
Like it is very hard, right? There's so many things. Um,
And after the game, ask your opponent what you did, like, "Hey, did you, like, see anything that, like, I was doing wrong there?" Like, I think that's, like, the real telltale sign of, like, someone who wants to, like, grow and get better. You can
yeah,
really
actually,
relieve a
that's
lot of that, like, after game tension and be like, "Hey, did you see it? Like, is there anything that you thought I did wrong there? Like, or do you think I could have played better in some way?" Um, to
Yeah, my last RTN, that's exactly what I did, Nate, is I got absolutely cooked by a bulletin. Like just like cooked. And I was on KO and I kind of went into my own head and I was just like kind of sitting there cleaning up my deck, being like, damn, what did I like where did I go? And like credit to my opponent. He kind of like was like, yeah, by the way, that was kind of a high roll.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh, I was like, should I have blocked with my Scowling Flesh Bag at that point? And it was like a pivotal point where like he had one card, and I was just like, well, this like shuts him down, and then I get to go bananas.
Yeah.
Or not bananas, but like I get to kind of pull back some tempo here. And he's like, yeah, definitely. He's like, you kind of have to shoot it. He's like, I had the he had the instance and stuff to like just go over the top and just keep going and like draw cards. And he had like Lumina,
Yeah.
he had Irina out with Lumina, so he could just instant out
Yep.
stuff. So the flesh bag just got like cooked. It just like disappeared. But he's like, yeah, if I didn't have exactly that, he's like, you would have just shut me down, and it would have been. And I was like, oh, okay. And so yeah, that's great advice, and it kind of like diffused me from being like I wasn't salty, but I was just kind of like, huh, what did I do? You know what I mean? Because it was basically my day was over because I was 1-2 at that point
Yeah.
at an RTN. So I was just like, oh, okay, I'm going home. I'm going to play one more game and then go home here
Yeah.
because it was just like the early losses. So I was just like, huh, what happened here? And he kind of helped me get out of my head a bit. But yeah.
And I think that one of the coolest parts about, like, playing, like, at larger events is, like, meeting some of the newer players who are, like, just getting into Flesh and Blood and giving them, like, a really cool experience. I remember I played a Lexi in
Mhm.
Indy who was a newer player, just came over from Magic, had some sweet mustache sleeves. Um, and, like, after the game, it was a Lexi mirror, and I actually gave him I had bought a cold foil version of Lexi, so I actually gave him my rainbow foil version as like a
Oh, that's cool.
welcome to Flesh and Blood. Like, he's like, dude, this is awesome. Like, he lost,
Yeah.
smoked him. Not, it was actually very close. I almost pooped myself a little bit at that in that game. But I gave him the rainbow foil copy, and I was like, dude, this is for you. Like, welcome to Flesh and Blood. Like, I hope you have like a great
Yeah.
time. And he's like, dude, that's awesome. Like every experience I've had with players in this community has actually been like really positive and phenomenal. And he's like, I really like it's very different from the Magic scene where it's not
Yeah.
that way. So like
I guess this rant is a little bit like we should have probably said that off top. Like, I don't think this is a rampant issue. It's just like I guess yeah, I've seen you because you've done it against me. You've fallen into that pit trap once. I cooked you though.
I cooked
that
myself.
first turn was that first turn I cooked you. There was not much you could have done.
No.
Um yeah, that's how it is though. But yeah, I've fallen into it as well. But I think like I think it's a high percentage of like great games, fun people. If you played me at a large event, I try to either hand out one of my metal tokens or a pack. Like I try to always bring a pack, like a box with me, and I hand them out throughout the weekend and stuff, because I think it really matters, and we need to make sure that we don't lose that reputation of being a community of fun people with good attitudes playing tough games. Like
Yeah.
like you start flesh and blood, you can get your ass beat.
You sure are gonna get spanked for a long time.
Yeah, it
Um,
is. Yeah, like, but it's super rewarding once you get to the point, once you start seeing the code of the matrix,
yeah.
right? I think that's why this game is growing in popularity
Mhm.
as fast as it is, right? So
Yeah. I think like the rant is mostly like let's make sure that we remind ourselves of that because it definitely like the
yeah.
reason Brian Gottlieb left Twitter was because of toxic bullshit. Um, like free Brian, one, but also like we are seeing more and more stories of like people just being like real salty.
Yeah,
So like let's just like avoid that in the future
yeah.
and spread positive.
It'll break my heart in like a couple years if it's like we become
Man,
like other communities,
yeah.
and just like it's just like the most hardcore cutthroat, like haha, you lost, I won, you know.
Yep.
So yeah, let's not lose that along the way as Fab continues to grow.
No, no, no. Those are my two rants. So um thanks everybody.
Brian's already sleeping.
Brian better be dude. I don't even know if he listens because he did not message me about the washing machine joke, and I'm upset now.
Dude,
Third rant, Brian.
tell him that I'm sad.
Brian, why are you not listening while you fall asleep anymore?
I met Brian at Pro Tour and he was a nice guy, and now tell him that you've made me sad.
I will let him know. Brian, Brian is my teammate. Him and I had coffee every morning together because we're the dads of the Wolfpack. So like we're up. We were both up at like 5 a.m. every morning in LA because it's like our bodies are not gonna change. We're too old. We're boomers at this point. So
Yeah.
we just have coffee, have a nice chat while the young bucks were still like passed out. Uh, but I love Brian, super nice guy. Super close to he finished ninth at US Nationals in Charlotte. Incredibly good
Nice.
player. Guardian main, my friend, your friend, everyone's friend. So um, if you see Brian or me or Ted at an event, come say hi. But yeah, I think all for
Yeah.
us this week. If you guys want to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, hit all the other buttons on your YouTube page right now. Just click all of
Yeah,
them.
just click them all.
Literally every
Yeah.
single one of them. We would appreciate it. And as always, Findos Collection, we do have a special promo code
Mm.
TCG10,
Yep.
not Drum Eyes Unplayable.
First month free. Not Drill Mice Unplayable, no.
Unlucky. First month free. So if you are interested, go check out their website. It is very cool on how you can like sort everything, box EVs, card movement. So if you
Mhm.
want to check that out, you can have the first month free with using our promo code TCG10. And as always, we love you all and put your money where your mouth is. Meow, meow, meow.
Peace.
Race.